Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I am Neuralex and this is gonna be my reaction for episode 10 of Death Note, called Doubt. If you are new to Neuralex Live, please subscribe. You can even click the bell to make sure you do not miss my next video. So Light and L finally met. I guess that's why the episode was called Encounter. In an attempt to destabilize him, L revealed to Light who he really was, and he's now posing as another student. Light and L, college buddies. This should be interesting. Before I jump into this reaction, you can watch my full-length watch-along reactions on Patreon. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Neuralex and check out my merch at Stream Elements. Death Note episode 10, here we go. Back at campus.
I never thought you'd ask me to play tennis as a way to get to know each other.
Is it a problem for you?
Not at all. But when you first invited me to play, did you know how good I was?
Yes.
Ooh.
I'll be fine. I was actually the British junior champion.
If I ask him if he's British, would he think I'm trying to find out more about him because I'm Kira? Were you raised in the UK?
I lived in England for about 5 years when I was younger. Nothing in that story would reveal Elle's true identity, I promise you.
Oh, is that so?
Is that so?
Well, since it's this is just a friendly game of tennis.
He's not even putting shorts.
But I know Kira hates to lose.
Ooh.
Oh, Ryuga, you sure don't mess around.
He who strikes first wins.
What do you mean you're not at liberty to...
We're under orders from L not to discuss the case with anyone, including you.
I'm not asking for details here, just what you're doing and where. People are saying that the NPA is incompetent, that L is incompetent.
With all due respect, sir, we're incompetent. Do you have any idea how many people are left at Task Force headquarters these days?
Not much.
Most of our detectives would rather let a serial killer roam free than risk their lives.
Ooh.
Please excuse me.
What about this L character? Can he be trusted?
Even as we speak, he's risking his life.
Playing tennis.
These are the same two guys who scored perfect on the exam.
Relax, Light. Most people would rather win than lose. It's human nature.
Is he going to think that I'm Kira if I go for the win? I suppose I could just lose on purpose, but if I do, it could work against me.
Oh,
Since
man.
He Kira to want also expect me to throw the match to avoid suspicion. I don't see any way that he can either way. I'm not going to let him win.
Oh, point.
He's going for the win.
Light Yagami to serve.
And just like that, we've got an umpire and a line judge. He was the 0203 junior high tennis champion. Apparently, during the third-year awards ceremony, he announced that he was hanging up his racket. And I guess he hasn't played competitively since.
Hey, what about my...
I can see the wheels turning, Light Yagami. I'm already in your head.
This is a token gesture, an elaborate act we'll go through so we can say we're closer.
Because I wanted to play tennis with you, you'll assume that I'm laying the groundwork to get to know you better.
By getting me to say something that only Kira would know.
And of course, the only way to win your trust will be to share what I know about Kira.
Oh.
If you want me to discuss Kira with you, it only makes sense that I'd want to ask for proof that you are in charge of the investigation, that you are really L as you say you are.
So it goes without saying that the first thing you're going to want from me is...
From a third party, that you really are L, which means...
We'll have to go to Task Force headquarters.
Oh.
To win, you must attack!
Childish and doesn't like to lose.
There's something I wanted to ask you about. You want to go somewhere for a drink?
You humored me with the tennis match. The least I can do is answer some of your questions. I suspect that you, Light Yagami, are in fact Kira. Now, if you still want to ask me something, then please go ahead.
You think I'm Kira?
Well, when I say I suspect you, it's only a 1% possibility. That once I'm sure you aren't Kira, and I can verify that your deductive skills are as strong as I think they are, I'd like nothing more than to have you work with me on this investigation.
Ooh.
It means he has grounds to prevent me from meeting anyone on the task force. He got me.
He got me.
Do I have to sit like this? You see, if I were to sit normally, my deductive skills would immediately be reduced by roughly 40%.
Ooh, cream and sugar?
Would you mind submitting yourself to a test of your deductive reasoning skills?
Sure, why not? Sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun. I'm good at
Begin
exams
by taking a look at
and
these.
tests.
3 notes written by prison inmates while under Kira's control just prior to their deaths. None of this information has been made public.
Very interesting. Come on, this is child's play. There's a print number on the back of each of these photographs. Clearly, if I read it the way Kira intended on my first attempt, I'd only look more suspicious. But the fact that I'm able to solve this silly code isn't enough on its own to prove that I'm Kira. I think Kira wrote these, and it seems he's encoded a message for you as well, almost as if he's mocking you. If you line these notes up side by side, but there are obvious print numbers on the back of all these photographs. Arrange it in that order, we get L, do you know? Love, apples, gods of death. That doesn't sound hard to believe that Kira would have wanted you to read it this way.
That's incorrect. The thing is, there were actually 4 photographs. Gods of death who love apples have red hands.
It's a fake. I never made any criminal write the letter in this 4th picture. Seeing as I only had 3 photographs to work with, my deduction was perfect.
No, it wasn't. You never even considered that there might be a 4th. What do you make of that?
Damn him. This wasn't just about gauging my... If I keep falling for his tricks, I'll be playing right into his hands.
If you were me, faced with someone who might be Kira, how would you go about establishing this person's innocence or guilt? You'd need to be absolutely sure.
I would probably try to get him to say something that was never made public in any way. Something that only Kira could know. Kind of like what you...
But I've asked countless detectives that same question, and it took most of them minutes to even come up with an answer. You immediately thought of a scenario in which Kira is speaking directly to the investigator. I'm impressed. You'll make a fine detective, Light.
But it's a bit of a dumb... more impressive my answers, the more of a suspect I become.
Yes, it's about 3% now.
Ooh.
However, I'm in a position where even if you are Kira, it would still be to my benefit to have you working alongside us.
In other words, whether I'm Kira or not, you stand to gain either way. It's a very smart move on your part. I'm not Kira, and I certainly don't want to be killed by him. Besides, what proof have you been able to give me that you yourself aren't Kira?
Oh.
I mean, it hardly seems... I think I'd be convinced if, say, my father or someone else from the task force headquarters was able to confirm your identity.
Oh my God,
can't do that,
he's
then I'm
playing
afraid I just won't be
this.
able to help
You sure talk a lot, don't you, Light? Typical for someone who hates losing. I think that's 7%. Could it really be him?
7% now?
I don't remember. Help us with the investigation. Am I safe in making this assumption?
Does this guy have a death wish? I don't understand. What's he thinking?
Excuse me.
I have some bad news.
Light, your father is...
Light, it's your...
My father.
What?
He had a heart attack.
Wait, like a real heart attack? Like not from the Death Note heart attack?
So the doctors think stress was the only cause?
Yeah, I thought it was Kira when I first collapsed, but I'll be all right. It seems I've been pushing myself a bit too hard lately.
Wow.
Indeed. It must have added to your stress knowing that Light is a suspect in this investigation.
You actually told my father that?
He even knows that I am L.
That's correct.
This guy is the real L. My father wouldn't lie. If I get rid of him and the rest of the investigative team... No, let's face it. It wouldn't be that simple. For now, I'm the Light Yagami who's worried for his father.
Yeah.
So,
Be an actor.
that you've had, is he cleared as a suspect?
When I say I suspect him, you should know it's very minor.
I was one of the people Ray Pembroke was investigating before he died. It only makes sense I'd be a suspect. There's no one else you could suspect.
I find Light's deductive powers quite impressive.
Ryuga,
Quite
I'd like to
impressive.
help with the investigation. I'd like nothing more than to catch Kira so I can prove once and for all that I'm not him.
You should be studying to become a police officer. It won't be too late to join us once you are done.
Come on, Dad, what are you talking about? Who knows
Yeah.
how many... If something ever happened to you, I would find Kira and make sure he gets executed.
Oh, wow.
I
Executed.
refuse to believe.
This doesn't seem like an act to me. Or if it is, it's too cheesy.
Light,
Too
listen to
cheesy.
me. Kira is pure evil. What is truly evil is the power to kill people. The person who has come to possess this kind of power is cursed. No matter how you... No true happiness can be obtained like that.
Cursed.
I think
Wow.
you're absolute. I would say that he's cursed.
I like the curse element that they just added.
Visiting hours were over 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, get out. That's enough. Get out of my hospital.
I can't take this anymore. Put yourself in my position. How do you think it feels to be accused of being Kira?
It was one of the worst feelings ever.
What if you were to lock me up for a month in a place with no TV or...
I can't do anything that would deprive you of basic human rights. And furthermore, it's complete nonsense for the investigator to take suggestions from his suspect.
I understand.
Yeah.
And listening to that conversation between you and your father, I was almost convinced you might not be him.
Almost.
I don't think I'll be able to do much until my father is healthy again.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But what is his real name?
Light Yagami. Are you not Kira?
Are you not? Are you?
I never once felt cursed since I picked up the Death Note. I'm happier than I've ever been, all thanks to this power.
Honestly, I could care less whether you feel cursed or happy to have a notebook. I leave that sentimental crap to you humans.
To you humans.
The ones who come into contact with the Shinigami have nothing but misfortune.
Usually, nothing but
But I have no
misfortune.
intentions of repeating that pattern.
Well, I hope you're right about that.
I hope you're right about that, Light.
Now get out there and find me a story.
But the police won't talk, sir.
If they won't give you anything, then get creative.
All right.
What is it?
Ooh. Oh, scoop.
A message to the world from Kira. If you do not broadcast these tapes, I will kill your company's board of directors one by one. Who wouldn't
Oh.
dare thee? I'm so excited I feel like I'm having a heart attack here.
I'm so excited. I feel like I'm having a heart attack here. Wow. Okay. Okay. I must admit that I'm very surprised that a man that looks in good health like Chief Yagami could have a heart attack. Or maybe it's all fake. No, it's not. It's not. Yagami, like Chief Yagami wouldn't play those kind of games, but the timing of this is kind of wow. So this is very intense because now basically the whole episode, Light and L were together doing that tennis match, and the way L is so like open about everything he does, and he says everything to Light like as a way to destabilize him, and it works. I like the back and forth. You know, when they were playing tennis, the game was super intense, but what they were thinking about each other was even more intense. It's like the tennis game was just like a visual distraction for everybody watching them and them watching each other, but like they kind of know. And now he's at 7% now. 7%. At least. I'll give that to Light. At least he had some reaction when he heard that his father was in a hospital. He actually looked like he cared for real, but still. I really like where that show's going. Like, Light and Elle are gonna be like together all the time, college buddies, playing tennis, going for coffee. Love the pacing of that show. It goes fast. Like, I like it because even though, like I was saying in the last episode, there's not much action, but there's a constant tension and a constant, like, you're thinking at the same time the characters are thinking. Like, I really like the mood where it's going, and Ryuk's the best. I love Ryuk and everything he does. And now the concept of the curse, like somebody with that power are cursed. But at the same time, Light said like he's never been more happy in his life since he got the Death Note. Interesting to say the least. I guess we'll see in the long run if he's actually cursed or not. I think he is. I guess. At the end, we'll have to wait and see. So that was my reaction for episode 10 of Death Note. Guys, Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check me out on Patreon, on Twitter and Instagram at Neuralex, and check out my merch at Stream Elements. Thank you again for watching this. I am Neuralex, and until we meet each other again, guys, stay safe.